Welcome, welcome, welcome back to Truth Quest. My name is Aaron Moriarity. I will be your host, and we're going to go on a quest for truth together. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm not gonna answer this right now, okay? How are you doing, folks? I'm glad that you're here. I should have turned my phone off. I'm sorry. I can't really get to it right now. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well. I'm doing just fine. And today, friends, we're going to talk about something different, something that we haven't talked about here on the program. And first of all, I want to thank, Mud Rabbit and Jacob Waters for being here. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Get the old thumbs up going on. I'm going to share this on out. And feel free to share on out to your favorite social media platform so that we can get, maybe we can find, someone who's a whistleblower, or maybe they've had an experience. And we'll catch them right when we can, okay? There we go. So we're posting it onto my Facebook page. I don't have that many friends on Facebook, but so hopefully they'll see it. Welcome, 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 folks. Ricky, welcome. And Mud Rabbit, Jacob Waters, thanks for stopping on in. If you've been looking at this field for a while, there's a country that keeps coming up. I'm glad that you're doing well, Jacob. And that's Peru. Peru. Now, so in Peru, as you might know, they found all of these elongated skulls, for one thing. And they also found these kind of alien creatures, alien-looking creatures. They might be Earth creatures, but something that is out of the ordinary. And I was looking at these things, and let me just show you here. I guess I'll do the old screen share thingamabobber. That whole thing. That screen sharing thing that all the kids are talking about. All right. It's all the rage. Isn't that the case? Hit the like button. Yeah. Thanks, Mud Rabbit. Let's see. Where's a good representation of these things? Okay. Here we go. Now, have you seen these things here? Very, very interesting. Now, they found a number of these things. They seem to be reptilian. They're rather small, only like a couple feet tall, if that. And I'm looking at this thing and thinking, you know what? That looks kind of familiar. Kind of familiar. So hear me out, folks. Check this out. I don't know if anyone else has noticed this or not, but we'll do another screen share for this one. Yeah. Here's another, I guess before we get to that picture, I have to show you this. This is another view of these crazy alien-looking beings. They might not be alien. They might be. Desktop. All right, check desktop out. And so, have you guys seen these things? What is your opinion on these darn things? Where'd that screenshot go? Where did it go? Okay. Sure, I did a screenshot. All right. Well, so the revelation, folks, is this. Remember the shape of that head. Check this out. Remember this clip, this fun clip? Yes, E.T. I think he looks like E.T. I think he totally looks like E.T. And so that's what I think. I think these things look like ET. Now, the question is, okay, are these indeed, oops, maybe I'll go like this. Yeah, okay. I'll get a cleaner shot of it. Either Spielberg had access to these creatures, because look how close it is. I mean, it's pretty close. And if my screenshot mechanism is working right, we can show you this. And it looks like it's not quite working. No. For some reason, folks, my, I don't know, screenshot app? What is that? Oh, there it is. Found it. Okay. Here we go. Is that what we're looking at? Okay, I gotta see. That's what we've been looking at the whole time. I'm sorry, I've been looking for this, folks. I finally found it. Maybe Spielberg is trying to tell us something. Yeah, could be. I think he had access to things that we just don't know. Hi, Cassandra. Hi, Divine Tiffany. Glad to see you here. Okay, I finally found the, let's see if it's going to work now. See if it shows up on here. Here it is. There we go. Oh boy. So there we go. Now you can see the front of the face here, very similar. Okay, real similar. Okay, you see this, the head here is long, just like, E.T.'s head was long. And I think E.T. had his neck over here, whereas these creatures have the neck in the middle. But that's a very minor difference. I mean, now the body is vastly different. These things have a very skinny body, and they have a very reptilian-like ribs. And look at this creature. Look at these bones. I mean, that's a real creature. That's a real formerly living creature. Look at that. And they have one with eggs in it too. It has apparently was ready to lay eggs, and something happened. And something happened there. We're glad you're here too, Divine Tiffany. So fascinating. Now, there's some controversy about these bodies, and they're very small. They're only like a couple feet tall. But apparently they were taken out of the country, questionably, or they didn't have proper official authorization, so they say. So I'm not sure about that. It sounds plausible. Who knows? But it's a very interesting case, and it's in Peru. I mean, this is like this country that keeps coming up, and Peru even has ties to modern times, apparently, and might even have some kind of connection to lots of things. So lots of nefarious things. So, but you also might have heard about the elongated skulls, which of course they found thousands of in Peru. And of course they have the Nazca lines in Peru, right? And these things, these skulls, I mean, one of them has hair on it. I do believe that they did take DNA samples from, I think Brian Forrester was the one that did it, and found that it has a lot of human DNA, but something else too. Because this, friends, is not it's not cranial deformation, because the actual brain cavity is about a third larger than a normal skull. So you can't bind a head while it's growing to grow a certain shape and actually increase the volume inside. It's impossible. It's just impossible. So it's so fascinating, so incredibly fascinating. So I know that a lot of people have been critical of this case, and it's kind of surprising, but people aren't believing it. They're saying it's a hoax. I don't know, man. I don't know how you hoax an X-ray. I just don't know. Okay, I'm posting this to my TruthQuest Facebook page too. And if you're watching, please share this out. Share it to all your friends, a couple of your enemies, and to whoever you think might be interested in the crazy kind of stuff we talk about here. Yes, the size of the eye sockets, everything. The plates of the head are different. There's a different number of plates in the head. The thickness of the skull is different. The jaw is different. The skull has holes in places that the human skull does not have holes, like where like either nerves or blood vessels would go through, or different things. So yeah, it's completely different than a human. And in the areas where they found these, they have legends of these red-headed giants that they said some of them claim that they're They eat people. They eat the other kind of people. I'm not sure if that's true. Cephalus. I don't think it's that, because they've not found just a couple of these. They found thousands of these, and they're all seem healthy adult beings. Does anyone here, Aaron, have any advice for relationships who want to consciously choose not to talk about these things? Well, yeah, I mean, everything's up to your own discernment. I mean, as far as relationship advice, I'd say they call it a relationship for a reason. And, you know, if you don't work on it, it'll sink like any other ship, right? So yeah, these skulls are fantastic. They're a different weight than a normal skull. They're thicker. The bone is thicker. Like I said, they have a lot of they're Nephilim giants. Well, you could call them whatever you want to call them. You know, you know, you could put labels on anything, but there's the bones. That's what it is. It's this. It's these things, you know. It's utterly fascinating. You know, I was in an art class or an art studio with someone, and this other person was like a professional archaeologist or something like this, and or at least had training. And I tried to talk about it with her, and she just would not talk about it. She just, nope, did not want to hear about it, didn't want to see anything. It's very strange. Here you can see a normal human skull and this other one. Now, this I would say is a medium-sized one. There are ones that go way up, that are way banana head, cone head people. But you can see, look at the jaw, look how wide it is here. You know, I guess there's some little similarities. This is a little similar looking, but if you look, you see where these plate sutures are? They're different on these skulls. They're completely different. And there are just tons of them. And they've not only found them in Peru, they found them all over the planet. These things, these red-headed people that were advanced. They may have been the ones that built all these megalithic structures that we see around. You know, they'd be smart enough to figure that out. They got all that extra brain power. I don't know, you know, but there's the side by side. You can tell. I mean, this one's bigger, much bigger. And like I said, Brian Forrester is one of the first scientists to really study these. I mean, there's been a apprehension to even tackle this because it just goes against which, you know, should not be a thing for scientists to even worry about. Science is supposed to be discovery. If you're discovering something new, that's a great and grand thing. Let's bring it out and talk about it. But yeah. Hi, Kelly. Definitely a different species, subspecies. Maybe they were aliens, maybe they weren't. Who knows, you know? We get the chronovisor, we could find out. We have such a comfy chat family, don't we? If you can, please like this and share this out to your favorite social media platform. Tell all your friends and even a couple of your enemies about it. And we'll get this thing rolling right along. I want to drop something into the chat here. Copy. Go back over here, do the old paste. Paste. Oops. We need our music, don't we? That's what's missing. Gosh. How could I forget? I hope that's either not too loud or loud enough. There's my official merch shop with all the cool merchandise so you can show your support for the show and wear it around and go out maskless, naked face, but you got to wear a shirt, so you might as well wear a Truth Quest shirt. You're welcome, Cassandra. I'm just so fascinated by these. Now, that woman in that art class, she was not having it. She didn't want to hear anything about it. I mean, if you're a trained scientist, shouldn't you be wanting to find the truth? I don't know. Is it just me? Am I the only curious one? You know? The idea that we know everything is so funny. It's ludicrous. And we just really don't know what we're doing in so many different ways, in so many different areas. People just don't know. We always feel like we're doing the right thing, for the environment, or the one I always like to talk about is the Redwood Forest, right? It's protected, right? Because it's these giant trees and they're the only ones in the world. So of course we're going to protect them. So they've been protected vigorously from fire for hundreds of years, or 100 years, or whatever. And then one time there was a fire they couldn't stop. And the fire reached some of these sequoias, these giant redwoods. And all the park people, oh my God, they're going to burn. Well, what happened was the fire triggered something in the trees that made the sap flow, and it made them seed. These trees had not seeded for as long as we've been protecting them. We were protecting them so closely that we were extinguishing them. We don't know what we're doing. There's no way we can know what we're doing. We're little teeny little things on the surface of the planet. We don't know what we're doing, okay? So whenever we try to protect something like in nature like that, all good intentions, but ended up, if that one fire wouldn't have gotten through and shown them this, then these trees might have gone extinct because they've never seeded. So every time we try to cheat nature or one-up nature, we can't one-up nature. Are you kidding me? I don't know, man. I don't know. Some medical things remind me of bloodletting. Bloodletting was a common practice. You were ill, your arm hurt. Oh, let's let some blood out from your arm until it feels better. Oops, we let too much out. He died. See, this was unscientific, but it was what they were doing at the time. I think something that we're doing now is going to be seen as something as barbaric as bloodletting that doesn't do anything but causes a lot of harm. I'm not going to mention what it is. I'll let your imagination take off on that. Fill in the blanks as you will. Yeah. Don't interfere with nature, that's right, Sandan. Yeah. Every time we try, we fail to try. And you know, remember that movie Free Willy? It's a movie all about freeing one of these killer whales from captivity because it's so cruel. What just happened at SeaWorld? One of these creatures died. Why didn't they let it go? Hello? Oh, that was just a movie. Well, you know what? There's reasons why people went to see that movie, because they were hoping it would come true. You know? So there's another thing. Oh, little Billy gets to see the big fish. Well, yeah, but I saw a picture. It was really extreme. It was a aerial view of SeaWorld, and it had the parking lot was just gigantic. It had this like little patch of blue, and it said, "Okay, this is where the whales live for their entire life. The rest is the parking lot for people to park." It's just sad, sad. So I think we should free all of those things. We should, reintroduce zoo animals back into the wild if we can. I mean, it's the least we could do for them. When I worked at Hasbro years ago, there was this park, I think it was Narragansett Park on Narragansett Boulevard in Rhode Island, out in big Rhode Island. And I used to go there and eat my lunch, and there was a zoo there in the park. I mean, and they had an elephant there. And I used to go there and watch that elephant, and it would just make me so sad. It's like, I want to go and free that thing. His rope must have been only like 3 feet. His foot was attached to this rope. He was crying all the time. It's like I wanted to go free him, but if I freed him, then they would just shoot him. This is so sad, you know. We shouldn't be doing this kind of thing to these beautiful animals. But yeah. So what's your idea? What's your thought about these crazy alien-looking creatures? I've never seen anything like them from any other place, you know, little 2 foot tall, you know, about this tall. This is how big they are. Looking like ET, little weird looking things. I think I got one here. It shows the one with the, here it is, with the eggs in it. See the eggs here in the x-ray? And you can see them bulging out here like it was gonna lay some eggs. Look at these ribs. I mean, he's like a snake, kind of like the body of a snake, but he has arms. And look how simple this structure is. It's our skeleton is a lot more complex, it seems, than this. Very simple design. 3 toes, 3 fingers. And all the things they found in these caves are covered with this white dust. It's just dust, I guess. But there's the eggs. Isn't that freaky? Isn't that something? Yeah, the chest area, I think that's just his arm sockets and the collarbones, maybe, because they're thicker there, maybe. I don't know. I was wondering that too. Yeah. Truth is a bit like drugs. Once started, hard to stop running it. Yeah. Yeah, the truth is contagious. That's why they won't tell us much of anything, because they are afraid that we'll know. And once we know, guess what? That's our ascension, is knowing. They don't want us to ascend and to know, but we know. There's so much of us that know now. It's crazy. So many people speaking out. So, okay, here's another X-ray of that being. Okay. Now here, you don't see those same things, those darker areas. So maybe that was something behind it holding it up. I don't know on that other one. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting. It could be the milk glands, possibly. This one must be a male, I think. Who knows? But look at the toes. Look how simple this is. Doesn't look like they have kneecaps. I think a kneecap was a bad design idea. Yeah, kneecaps. What good are they for? They float around, you know? I guess they protect you from getting whacked on your knee. But they can crack too. That's not fun. Right? Hi, Diane. Diane Rain. One. Good evening. Glad to see you here. Terry Hopper, howdy. Wow, we're all here now, aren't we? Yes. This is very strange. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, it looks, I don't know. Is this fakeable? I mean, could these all be plastic, these bones? I don't know. Can't see any organs? Yeah, well, it's an X-ray, so it's probably only going to show it's not showing the skin either, really. Just the bones, tendons and such. Eggs. Looks like there's something right here. I don't know what this is. I don't know what that thing is there. Could be a hole in the skull, or maybe the ear hole. I don't know. Very bizarre. Very bizarre indeed, wouldn't you say? Wouldn't you say? Class is in session. We're rewriting the history books, folks. Hi, Diane. Hi, everybody. So glad that everybody's here. So glad. Okay. Everybody looks like they're comfy in the chat. Let's see. I'm going to pull up. We got some new viewers now. So I'm going to pull up that other picture that I had that kind of shows what this thing looks like. Hi, Diana Prinz. Good morning. Wow. Uh-oh. Down here. There it is. Is that coming up? So I think these things look a lot like E.T. That's just me. I mean, look at this. The long head, the way the eyes are in the front like that, and a little, you know, kind of the monkey muzzle mouth area, very similar. Like we were saying before earlier in the show, did Spielberg have access to, maybe he saw pictures of these creatures alive to get the idea for ET, or was it just coincidence? I don't think there are any coincidences, folks. When ET first came out, I thought, that's a really strange design for an alien. If you're going to make a movie about an alien, why wouldn't you make it look like what everyone thinks an alien looks like? Why would you make it look like ET? Well, if you had information that these creatures once roamed the earth, whether they're terrestrial or extraterrestrial, here's their bones. They're real creatures walking around. Where were they from? They look reptilian because of the bone structure. The ribs are reptilian, but very similar to ET. Look at that. It's you know what it is? It's like an open can of corn. It's very uncanny. There you go. Uncanny. What do you think about that? What does the chat think about that? Some of the new folks. Irish Raider. Hello, Irish Raider. Trish Raider, I'm sorry. I got to get these glasses adjusted here. Long neck, yeah. They both have long necks. Yeah, it's amazing how much he looked like that. Predictive programming, yes. No coincidences. But yeah, so fascinating. So interesting, huh? It sure would be nice to know the truth. Oh, Gary, starting with the dad jokes, starting in the middle and ending, always with as many dad jokes as possible. I think that's pretty much the meaning of life that I've figured out so far. Tell lots of dad jokes. It's pretty much it, right? So I some people say these things are fake. I don't know, man. How do you fake a skeleton? It shows up on there. Okay, I'm sending a heart. That's for everybody, okay? That's my hello to everybody. The heart. A little emoji thing, whatever those are. So that's really quite something, I would say. Yeah. The Elite had Spielberg write it, and they had the details. Could be, very, very well could be. He might have met some living beings like this. Dad joke number 1. Yes, you got it down. Got that dad joke down. So, anybody hear any good dad jokes? Yeah. I told a pretty good one in the last show. Gotta try really hard not to say them again. Although there is that urge. My advice to anyone talking about this kind of stuff with your partner or someone you're, trusting, I think it's important to be able to talk about everything, I think it's just to me, I mean, I've been in relationships where I was not allowed to talk about this stuff, and it was not fun. It's very stifling, but that's just me. I can't stop talking about this stuff. I talk about it to the grocery people, everybody, you know? Yeah. Yes, yes. Honesty is the best policy. If you're interested in something, you should probably be able to talk about it. You know, I don't know. It's definitely a personal thing. It's hard for anyone to give anyone else personal advice because there's so many different factors, you know, and not everybody's the same. So just go with your gut, whatever your gut says. That's usually right. It's usually right all the time. Yeah. And that's not a dad joke. Oh, Mud Rabbit says, my ex didn't want to hear it. So I sought out groups who were interested. Okay. I mean, your ex didn't want to hear it while you were married? Yeah. I think that's freedom of speech should be something that people can do with each other, right? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Anybody hear any good dad jokes in the chat there? Always searching for new ones. 32 years. Wow. Wow, 32 years. So you're still married? Is that the prognosis? No, ex. So for 32 years you had to seek other. Oh, that's interesting. Diane Rain, I have conversations with my higher self, but they're always one-sided. Yeah. I'm always on my side. Yeah, you got to be on your own side. Okay, Major Facepalm says, Aaron, why do dads take two pair of slacks when golfing in case they get a hole in one? Yeah, I've told that one on here before. That's a good one. Oh, you're divorced, but not for that reason? I got to tell you, my brother, Mark, maybe I shouldn't say this, but maybe I already said it. I don't know. I think it's hilarious. It's funny. But my brother, he divorced many, many years ago. And he was talking about back when he was married and his wife was about to turn 30. And so she was all worried about turning 30. She was all just very worried about it. And so my brother says, oh, honey, you don't have to worry about turning 30. She goes, really? Why not? He goes, well, because you've looked 30 for years, honey. Oh, man. Sometimes that's a guy joke. So, you know, guy jokes are funny mainly just to guys. You tell a guy joke to a woman, especially when you're dating or married to, you could be in danger zone. So that's what happened there. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I was married for 10 years. 10 years. It was a really good 3 months. 10 years. Yeah. So that's what that is. Yep. I think the same guy who invented marriage also invented divorce, you know, kind of a symbiotic relationship. Don't you think? Yeah. So have you guys seen these things? Have you seen any hubbub about these Peru alleged extraterrestrial beings? I mean, they don't really look like a gray, but you know, like I said, they do kind of look like ET. Jake. Yeah, it's some dangerous territory there, for sure. Definitely. Yeah, you got to be careful what you say. Yeah. Yeah. I know they do look like ET, don't they? Isn't that strange? Very, very strange. So now, if these things are fake, then someone just said, oh, let's make one look like ET. And then they made these fake. But then how do you fake? Because they've got numerous bodies and numerous x-rays of those bodies. So people are too thin-skinned, yeah? Oh, you're welcome, Cassandra, for creating this space. It's our little group therapy session here, right? It is, you know. I think whenever you're talking to a friend or with friends, it's good. It's good for your soul because we're connecting through the intranet all across the world. It's so amazing, so fascinating, isn't it? It's just kind of bizarre. Kind of bizarre, I would say. All right. Well, you know what else? I was watching Third Phase of Moon the other day, and someone sent in some footage of a craft that looks identical, you know, extremely close to one of the unusual craft that Billy Meyer took a picture of back in the 70s. It's kind of clunky looking, but someone got new footage of it, apparently. Now, I have to still, before I do anything about that, I have to go back and look at Billy Meyer's footage, his movie footage, to see if someone just didn't just take that footage and crisp it up a bit or something. But if it is indeed a new footage and it's legitimate, it verifies one of the strange craft that Billy Meyer took numerous pictures of. It's kind of clunky looking, and I'll get a photo of that. When I do the comparison, I'll show you the photo of that as well. So all right. Gonna mark this like that. Doing a little clerical here. I'm doing what the tech director should be doing. But so doing all that stuff. So I hope you're all having fun tonight. I'm glad that you are all here. I'm really, really, really happy. Like I said, we're doing a show every other day. So Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and also on the weekend, either Saturday or Sunday, or maybe both. Depends on what's going on, what's happening. Also, I'm working on getting some more guests on. So that will be coming up soon. Something to look forward to. Yes, indeed. Wow. This video is already running limited ads. Must have said something that tripped them up. What did I say? No clue, because they don't tell you. They don't tell you. They don't tell you what those standards are. So you don't know. You never know. Oh, Diana Prins, you're over in the Netherlands, huh? 5:15. Wow. Good morning to you too. Wow. Thank you for being here. Your English isn't so good in the morning. Well, I think it's just fine. Terry Hopper, I've got 5:15 now, 11:15. Who will give me 20:15? He's auctioning there. Very funny. Okay, so Cassandra, the brown aliens, I've had experiences with brown gray like beings. Oh, interesting. Did they look like this? You believe there are aliens and you invite them into your house. Diana Prince, really? I mean, do they come? Do they come to your house? Very interesting. 9:17 there. It's 10:18 here. Or Central here. Central time. I'm Central. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. You know what, folks? You know what? Oh, also, friends, remember yesterday or the other day when I did a show, some of you might remember, I was talking about the time machine that I'm working on the packaging for right now. So here's the Zoom meeting. If anyone wants to call in, feel free. Yeah, be careful what you invite in. That's right. There was one time where I invited anyone and no one showed. No one. So that said a lot to me. So there you go. And there you have it. Alrighty then. I think we looked at this long enough, huh? How about that? Thank you again, people, for being here. I really, really do appreciate each and every one of you. And if you want to help the program, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. And maybe you checked out the merch shop. There's nothing there you want. Share it to a friend. Maybe they want something. putting new designs up all the time. Oh, where is it? There it is. The time machine, right here, there it is. At last, a real-time device, time machine. Look at that. Bigger than Dallas. And there it is. There's your warning, friends. Time travel device. Yes, now you can go into the future as far as you want, whenever you want. But remember, warning, this is a one-way time device. It can only take you into the future. It cannot, I repeat, this device cannot take you back in time, only forward to the future. That's right. And there's a special little thing on the end there that, oh, I don't know if that's classified information right now or not. Right now I have two different colors of the packaging. Oh, this one's fading into the background. It's kind of sweet, huh? It's kind of a mint green. It's almost green enough to work for the green screen. See this printing right here? These are the instructions, so can't quite read them yet, can ya? Is there a reason for that? Yes. So, yeah. Yes, I do have a merch shop finally now, and let me show you what some of those things look like. So here's a couple of them right here. The old screen share that we all love so much. All the kids are doing it. Screen sharing. There it is. So here's two of the designs. We have the Greys, Meet the Greys, just like Meet the Beatles. It's done in the same motif. It's kind of funny. And then the Truth Quest logo. Loud and proud, walking around with that thing on all the time. So I got one of each of these. I ordered, they're very high quality, very good stuff. And well, let's see. Somewhere I have a picture of, oh yeah, this. Definitely got to show that. And one more thing here. Gosh, where is it? You know what? Maybe I can just show you the shop. Oh, I got to show you this one. Okay. Okay. So here is another one. This one is the Invisimask. So now you can wear this out. And if you don't have a mask on, you can point to your shirt and go, look, I got this on. The Invisimask. Can't see it, but it's there. It works with your immune system. And we've teleported one to everyone's face. So everyone has one. That's why people are walking around with no masks on. And the people who are still wearing masks, they just haven't heard about this yet. So we need to tell everybody. Everyone you see with a mask, tell them, hey, you don't need to wear that anymore. There's a great invention, the Invisimask. And one was teleported to your face, so you don't need a mask anymore. You're welcome. So there it is. So that's it. So go on out and get yourself a whole wardrobe full of those things. And while we're going to wake up the world in a hurry with all those dealy-mabobbers. Oh, and you know, here's another thing I want to show you quick. And that is the side-by-side of the Beatles and the grays. Okay, so you got Capitol records. Here you have Celestial records, right? High Fidelity, Space Fidelity. Okay, Meet the Grays, first album by Andromeda's Phenomenal Pop Combo, not England's Phenomenal Pop Combo. So there you go. That's that. And there you have that. Also, let's see, where is it? I got to go over here to, where did it go? There it is. Copy link. Okay, copy the link. And now I'm going to drop it into the chat again. That's the merchandise shop. You got t-shirts. You got, well, let's see. I'll show you. Okay. This is the, where is my camera? There it is. This is the Truth Quest logo. This is a long sleeve tee. They're Gildan, very good quality. Good quality. This one runs a little large, but the t-shirts run a little small. So that's something to keep in mind. And this is the other one. This is the Meet the Grays. And you'll be in style with this. While you can go uptown with this, now if you're in the Minneapolis area, you can go uptown, wear this, you'd be just fit right in, because that's where you want to be, uptown. Yes, just like Prince tells you in that hit song, Uptown. That's where I want to be. Set your mind free and go uptown. Color Fab. Well, that's interesting. Color Fab says, I went to buy wine today. The regular bum sitting outside greeted me and then told me to put on my mask. I don't wear one, I said. One of the lucky ones, he answered. One of the lucky ones. Wow. Oh, you're going to get a hoodie, Carrie? Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you thank you before you do it. So thank you so much. 50 Shades of Grays, that would be a good one too. Maybe I need to put that up there too. You think? 50 Shades of Grays. I don't know. It's kind of like a family show, isn't it? Alien Probe Master. Alien Probe Master. That's a good name. Interesting name. Yeah. A friend of mine had a group called the Probers. Very interesting name. Yeah. Very, very interesting. I'm going to check the participants here. We don't have anyone calling in. I'll open the chat here, and I'll give a generic message to everybody in the chat. If you come on to Zoom, you'll be greeted with a special message. It's a one-word message that starts with an H. You can guess what that might be. Yeah. Alien Probe Master, your name would be a good name for a shirt. You should make that shirt, buddy. You know, don't you think? I think memes would be cool to wear a meme, you know? Memes need to make their way into the world, and what better way? Wearing them, right? And you can go to the mall and share your favorite meme One on the front, one on the back. Double trouble. Waking up the normies right and left. Right? I think that's what memes do. Memes are, I think meme learning is the key to jump-starting our youth and education. A curriculum of meme learning, which is really just flashcards on meme steroids. You know, you could even do classes on making memes, you know. In the class, you learn through memes, and by the end of the class, you're making memes to spread the knowledge you just got. I think that would be fantastic. Don't you think? Meme-matic. I mean, when you see a meme, it just, boom, it slaps you, doesn't it? It's like, ka-chunk. It's like an impression onto your brain like no other thing. It's like a one-frame comic. Why was The Far Side so popular? He did one-frame comics. Boom, it just hits you and you remember it. Just like a flashcard, it's the same thing. Meme learning, mark my words, this is going to be the newest, best system of learning that's ever been tried, and maybe they won't do it because it would be working too well, and they don't want people being very smart, it seems. Which is very sad to realize, but judging by the way things are going, it looks like that is the pre-designed, the meme university, yes. Memes enrage the normies, yes. I think, though, that when you enrage the normie, when a normie gets enraged, that's the time to hit them with another meme. And when I say hit them, I don't mean touch them physically at all. I mean, just wear the meme or post the meme, because that's how we're going to wake up our friends, because normies are our friends. They're not our enemies at all. They're us in the past. So we were all normies. I was a normie. Parts of me might slip into normieism from time to time, but normies are great people. They just haven't seen enough memes yet. So we need to meme up, meme up. Meme up or shut up, right? A meme is a terrible thing to waste. Yes, that's a meme right there. Wow, I think I'm gonna go on a meme making binge tonight. Yes. You gotta love memes. I mean, don't you just love good memes? I've done quite a few memes. You've all seen a lot of my memes. Haven't you? Yes, you have. Memes. Okay. Okay, now some of the regulars might have seen this before, but some of our new friends might not have seen it. This is one of my favorite memes that I made. I took an existing photograph and I altered it to create this meme. And I'm proud of it because it's an old meme and it's still usable. So the longevity of a meme depends on a lot of things. I thought this meme, I shared it like crazy because I thought this meme is not going to be, relevant. But lo and behold, because I thought it's about a certain TV show, and I thought for sure this TV show was going to go off the air. But thank goodness it's still on the air, and not because it's a good show, but because I can still use my meme. Here it is. Yes. We have rebranded our show with a new name that reflects the size of our remaining audience, The Few. It used to be known as The View, now known as The Few. So that's my little meme. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Are there any messages in the chat? Oh, that doesn't move that. Oh, my picture is in front of one of the words there. Good thing I read it. Yeah, you can't always make them listen. Such a shame. Right. That's why we have to wear our memes, right? Right? So the only reason that I'm happy that The View is still on the air is so I can still use my meme. Because I'm telling you, I worked hard to get these gradients. It wasn't an easy task erasing the previous and putting this over. I mean, it was pretty complex, I got to tell you. Smiling reptilians photo. There you go. Yeah, you can't watch this show. Now, Trump was on the show, and that was kind of fun, kind of funny. And Trump Jr. was on. He had a good showing on there too, but it's so funny, these I'm starting to look at mainstream media as kind of like really bad cable access, you know, like super bad. Like no one watches it, right? Nobody. Yeah. So that's one of my memes. One of my many, many, many memes. One of my many, many memes. You know what? I saw someone share this the other day. Someone shared this the other day. And I'm like, oh, it's so nice when you see a meme that you made a long time ago start making the rounds again, you know? It's like kind of like your baby, you know, graduated. Now this particular one, actually, I did this part here, and I did a separate meme, very similar to this. It was a little bit different wording, and the words were up here. But a friend of mine took it and made this into it, and I liked it. I liked what she did to it, so I kept this too. So this is 2 memes out of 1 meme. But yeah, largest volunteer army on Earth. On the other one, it said, Pepe's digital soldiers or something like that. Something about digital soldiers. Digital soldiers. So taking the emphasis off of real weapons and putting it on, you know, we're keyboard warriors. We're not actual threatening type people. That's what they'd like you to believe that the people like us are, but we're not. We're just not. very nonviolent, friendly people. But yeah, it is the largest volunteer army on Earth. Think about it. Think about it. I mean, there's millions of people. And it's just, anyway, yeah. So that's that meme. I like that meme. So yeah, I drew the peppy face and then I just duplicated it and, you know, and duplicated it and duplicated it and duplicated it and put them in front of all those other guys' faces. So it's kind of a fun one to do. Look like little Queppies, yeah. Yeah, Queppy. Yeah. I don't know if many of you know about Queppy, but let's see what I have on Queppy here. Okay. All right. Well, there's a meme, a Queppy meme. Now, I made this puppet show. And so Queppy's this puppet. All right. So let me show you that. Oh, where's my little thing here? There it is. I'm getting all here is Queppy. This is what Carrie's talking about. Queppy. So his eyes move and he's this like a newscaster frog. Of course, he's fashioned after Peppy, but his name is Queppy because another artist actually owns that name. So Queppy. So that's Queppy, and I've done 4 Queppy videos with the puppet, and he shows memes. So scroll down on my page and you'll find them. I stopped doing the Queppy videos because not many people are watching it. I thought it would be a big hit, but apparently people weren't, maybe they didn't know what it was, or I don't know. But then I took Queppy and I sort of digitized him and made Queppy memes like this one. It's a Queppy meme for you. 17 Chan News. Fake news killed thousands. Yes, Trump was right. Those 3 letters cures what you call it. Trump derangement syndrome is deadly. Yes, yes, folks, that's what happened. Feel free to take a screenshot of that and share that about, won't you? Because that's true. As much as they try to decry alternative media, real media is busy killing thousands. So who are you gonna listen to? You're gonna listen to Queppy. Queppy knows what he's talking about, for sure. For sure. For sure. Yes. And I was gonna go get Queppy, but he's kind of put away. Oh, you love him. You wish I would do more? He has anime eyes. Yeah, he has Peppy eyes. Peppy has eyes like that. So he's very modeled after Peppy. Oh, thanks, Mud Rabbit, for putting the call-in information up there. So that's a little bit of Queppy fun. Patriots fight. Oh, cyber attack simulation they're running. Yeah. Funny how all these cyber attacks happened when, oh, I think I got a call from my buddy. Let me see. Is this Max?
Yes, it is.
Did you know I'm on the air?
I do now.
You're on the air, buddy. What a treat. Maxwell Smart is here. I'm sorry, you didn't really expect to be on the air, did you?
Oh, it's okay.
Okay.
What's the topic of the evening?
Oh boy, we've got several topics. We started off talking about Peru and some of the elongated skulls and these strange three-fingered reptilian-looking mummified skeletal remains that they found. Talking about that, talking about memes, how meme learning is the way to go. Mud Rabbit says, hello, Maxwell.
Hello.
And I showed Queppy, which is a puppet show I do,
Oh, wow.
Queppy show. He shows memes. Talking about the merch shop. But what's new with you? Diane Rain says hi.
What?
No?
What's the name of that archaeologist in Peru? You know the guy's name?
Brian Forrester.
Brian Forrester. Boy, people ought to follow some of his work. It's extraordinary.
Yeah, he's the only guy doing anything worth talking about with these elongated skulls.
Oh yeah, he collected it's either 17 or 19 of the complete skulls, not complete skulls, complete skeleton.
Uh-huh.
Of the Broncos beings, whatever you want to call them, and they're all being analyzed. I don't think it's done yet. It's a major project.
Yeah.
He got funding. I think he did. I'm not sure how he got funding. Maybe a GoFundMe. It's millions of dollars to analyze all of them to determine whether or not they represent a different species of life.
Right.
And so far, I know the data has come back that none are human.
They are not human. I thought they figured out that the mother was part human, but there was other DNA that they weren't familiar with. Am I?
Well, what I understand is that definitely those skeletons have been confirmed to be not human.
Okay.
So definitely another species, which you might as well say it's therefore an alien.
Okay.
And so, and there's even obviously being able to prove that none of those skulls are the result of binding the head.
Right. We talked about that.
And he, on one of his talks, he talked about going into Bolivia, which is not too far from Peru there, and entering this town, and where they said that there were these beings there.
Yeah.
And they said, well, where are they? I'd like to see them. And they took him to this little house, little hut, and inside were two skeletons. That was their house, so they didn't disturb the house. They left the beings' skeletons in that hut. And he asked, well, is there any possible way I can take them to analyze them? And they said, yes, but we have to confer with the elders, and they conferred with their elders, and they said, I think it was going to cost him $500 or something.
Yeah.
And he didn't have it on him, so he went to get it. In the short time it took him to go get it, somebody came and took them. Someone from the outside world.
Wow.
They said, well, how could they even know, let alone,
Right.
let alone get here before, we got back.
Those crafty devils.
So, but some of the most extraordinary things that I've seen on this program were where he goes to Egypt. He's got a special relationship with a number of the guards, and they'll basically let him in after hours.
Yeah.
And just essentially let him go anywhere, you know.
Yeah.
And he took them down in the I can't remember the name of it. I wish I could remember the name of the structure. Essentially, it's very close to the Sphinx. It's all underground.
Mm-hmm.
There's like many levels, like 19 levels below ground.
Wow.
And it's written about in I think it's the Emerald Tablets.
Okay. Emerald
It's
Tablets.
written about these. This is where they have supposedly the Anunnaki did their ascension testing, or where the description of the king's list that showed that the beings prior to the regular kings lived normal human lifetimes, but there were a number of kings and pharaohs before that
Mm-hmm.
that lived extraordinarily long lives, like 1,000 years, or, you know.
Wow.
And he talked about the who's that guy's name? The Carlson. Here's the guy, the African American guy that's wrote the Chronicles of the Emerald Tablets.
I can't remember. Can't remember his name.
Someone probably knows out there. My brain can't remember, but he was going into some of the revelations of the Emerald Tablets and how all kinds of old technology are represented in their advanced technology, more advanced than we are today. I think there's evidence that the Anunnaki were the next essential level above us.
Yeah.
And that's why they were able to move the blocks, and why they used different power sources, and to us it looks like magic, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, he's talked about Forrester had on one of his programs, he talked about these I think I might have said this before, so stop me. I don't want to repeat it over and over again on show, but there were these cylinder seals, which are basically, as far as I understand, like a round roller with impressions engraved into it. It's kind of like a stamp. You could dip it in ink and then roll it across paper or something, roll it across leather or paper or something, and it would leave an imprint of what was on that roller.
Sure.
Or you could do the same thing across clay and leave an imprint.
Sure.
But anyway, one of them showed a spaceship landing on the back of the Sphinx.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And people walking down the length of the Sphinx and going down a cylindrical staircase into the head of the Sphinx. Well, he goes to the Sphinx and gets on top of it after hours and shows that there's a hole there that's been filled in, and it's cylindrical.
Wow.
He's actually on top of the head of the Sphinx.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he goes and he has cameras, and he's showing you how the description says, some of the Emerald Tablets says something about under the right pole of the Sphinx, there's something about the ship is stored underneath that.
Yeah.
And then it says at some future point mankind will face a threat from outside our world, and this ship has got the technology to be able to defeat that threat single-handedly.
Wow.
And that if when people can figure out how to access the ship, then that knowledge will be available, and the ship will basically take care of the invaders.
Wow. Like an alien ship, not like a sailing ship, like an alien ship.
Yeah, like an alien ship.
Wow.
The same ship that's represented shown on the cylinder seal.
I see. Oh,
And
okay.
the claim is that, but so he goes out looking for that area. Well, he gets in front of the Sphinx, where this is supposed to be, and there's this big sign there that says, and well, there's obvious that somebody's been digging there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's covered up and whatever, and there's a sign there that says, this project is under the control of NASA.
Yeah. Wow.
So why would any Egyptian project be under the control of NASA? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's also the one who pointed out that he got word about some kind of unique facility out not too far from the Giza Plateau.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a facility that's like 900 feet by 900 feet, and it's a NASA facility. And when they ask what they do there, the only word they got is they make some kind of a special aluminum alloy, which was kind of interesting, but he couldn't get any more than that.
Mm-hmm.
That is one of Brian Forster's assertion is that most of the Egyptian plateau is still under the sand.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Yeah, still under the sand.
So we really know very little,
Yeah.
About what's actually there. So he goes there all the time. So anyway, Brian Forster, I'd highly recommend. It's exceedingly interesting stuff that he has. So
Definitely. Yes. He's a great guy. He's like, a real life, what was it? That swashbuckler. What was
Indiana
it?
Jones.
Indiana Jones, yeah. A real life Indiana Jones. But
well, Indiana Jones is actually based upon a real person.
yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Archaeologist from the University of Chicago, and I'm trying to remember the guy's name. His claim to fame is he had expeditions going to the Congo looking for a dinosaur,
Mm-hmm.
basically a plesiosaur. He spent many expeditions going there and talking to the natives that had seen it.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So there's a real person that Indiana Jones was based on.
Sure.
I wish I could remember names a little better.
You know who else had a real life inspiration was Popeye. That was a real dude. And he,
Really?
and he looked like that too. And there was a girl named Olive Oil. And this woman knew of those two and wrote this story about these. So interesting.
Did he undergo the transformation with spinach?
Yeah. I think they took some liberties with the story, I think. Yeah. I mean, I've tried opening cans like that by squishing it. I can't do that. Make the food pop up and land in your mouth. Never happens like that.
Well, I don't know if you know this. If you're ever in a situation you don't have a can opener and you got a can you got to open, if you scrape it on the cement,
Sure.
A few minutes when you do squeeze it, the top pops off.
Oh, okay. Sure. I bet it would. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never cook your food in the can though, because it has lead. You don't want to eat. You don't want to eat out of a cooked. You don't want to cook in the can.
Most cans don't have much lead.
Yeah, they still do, but what they do is they coat the inside with this polymer, which actually is deadly also. So, but they do that to cover up the lead.
Well, it's a tin can.
Right, but it's still.
And there might be trace of lead in it, but I doubt
they're sealed.
They're
sealed with lead. They still are. Yeah, they totally are.
Okay.
But
I never researched it, so.
But they do cover. They spray the inside. That's why when you open up a can, it's kind of like a yellowish looking inside, or it's kind of off color.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of like a spray-on Teflon type stuff that is supposed to keep the food away from the lead, but it's actually a carcinogen itself. So the food is soaking in that the whole time. That's why.
Well, it's something new.
Isn't that weird? I know that some of the first. When you were talking about the cylinder seals, that reminded me of a story I heard that the listeners might be interested in. And I don't know if anyone saw this, but this was a little while ago. These scientists, they found this pottery, and they digitized the pottery to try to see if they could see if sounds were recorded when it was made. And they did. They picked up sounds from the past of like singing and music.
Wow.
In the clay, because someone was turning it on a turning wheel, and they were using some kind of utensil to cut into the clay, but it was like slightly reverberating because of the sound waves. Isn't that interesting? So we might have some audio in old clay. Old clay.
You know, I've heard stories that I don't know if it's true. I haven't been able to track down the source of the information in order to find more. Supposedly, you know what an abalone shell is, right?
Abalone shell. It's some kind of seashell, right?
Yeah, seashell, but it's it's very glossy on the inside of the shell. And there were abalone shells supposedly that had holograms.
Oh.
In the shell.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they're ancient supposedly, and so they're obviously made by some kind of advanced culture. And I was never able to find any more information about it.
Interesting. Holograms in a shell. I should ask my friend. I know this woman that she sells seashells by the seashore, so I should talk to her about it.
Okay.
Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try that.
Yeah.
The other thing, Buddy and I were interested in Michael Crema's book. It's a real thick book. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's like a 900-page book, and he's the source of the information that says there are over I can't remember how many hundreds of thousands of human civilizations out in the galaxy or universe.
Mm-hmm.
And the claim is it comes from the Mahabharata or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find anybody who can confirm the source of that. I know some people that from India that if I knew the source, they'd go looking for that information to confirm it. The idea that I'm talking about not humanoid, but basically humans that we're spread throughout the cosmos and we're all related.
Mm-hmm.
And that our history's been obviously kept from us.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of like the idea of that Star Galactica,
Mm-hmm.
that there are different colonies out there of humans, and
great show.
Yeah. So it's kind of intriguing how certain shows mimic real life.
Yes. Sure does. I mean, a lot. More than you'd think.
Well, it sounds like it's no accident. That's in one way or another, it's being feeded to us slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's our government giving us that information or a higher power through our training matrix to do that, or, you know. So,
Okay.
well, I certainly don't want to monopolize all your time. You know, if someone wants to call in or something.
Well, let me check
Happy to.
here. Let me check here. Nobody's in the queue, so I'm glad you called. I'm glad that you called.
So hopefully people are experimenting with the free will love laser.
Hopefully.
Enjoying it. Because the key to its functionality is for people to learn that it really works. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a tool, actually, we all patriots have that capability.
Mm-hmm.
Their intentions get combined with the intentions of other patriots,
Mm-hmm.
and collectively they change reality.
Mm-hmm.
That's the nature of the transdimensional soul that we have. You know, we all have that unimaginable abilities. We're just not at a level where we appreciate those things.
Mm-hmm. Good night, Patriots Fight. Good night, Kelly George. Excuse me. I'm just seeing in the chat some people are leaving. So Patriots Fight. Good night, and good night to Kelly George. Thank you for stopping by. Tell all your friends, hey, you got to listen to the Truth Quest. It's kind of fun. Okay, go ahead. I interrupted you.
So the free will love laser is nothing new, essentially, because it's just a way of focusing our intentions. This movement where we're trying to change humanity, essentially wake up from our training matrix.
Mm-hmm.
The more focused we are, the more united we are, the faster we get out of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the real purpose of the free will love laser. It just focuses that intention, combines it with the intentions of the other patriots, which of course is already occurring to some degree when we gather together and talk about the world we want to have. You know, that's our intentions are. We're doing that to some degree right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah.
That's the nature of awakening. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So, in that sense, the free will love laser is not extraordinarily special.
Mm-hmm.
But I also I think it's got a value, like I said, in focusing people to getting them to understand that the power of their intention. We are simultaneously creating the universe as well as exploring it.
I can agree with that.
We are the means by which God is creating the universe.
Yeah. Bingo. I think you're right.
So God's will is working through us and through everything. Nothing can escape God's will because it's all God's creation.
Dark Brain is talking to you, says, Maxwell, I am trying to incorporate that love intention into my daily prayers. Well, that's excellent.
That's great, because that's really what prayer is all about. Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what prayer is. We're honoring acknowledging the source of all, right? All energy, all power, all love, the source of creation.
Love energy.
Yeah, and then love is the energy that actually does the transformation of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Love's a transdimensional force. It can't be rejected. I recommend not directing any prayer specifically or intention specifically at an evil, but they can use it to come back at you.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, direct it for changing all of the multiverse. more focused you are, the more they can follow you back to you.
Mm-hmm.
Which is all well and good, but you get these personal attacks like I did, and it's not pleasant.
No.
I don't wish that upon anybody.
No.
So when I send intentions out there, I send healing out to the entire multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing probably there's something that I'm not aware of that where, although sent out to the multiverse and it affects the whole multiverse, it probably has the largest effect close to where you're at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where you resonate with other beings of the like intent.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, I liken it to, in the story of Moses coming off the mountain with the 10 Commandments, and he's glowing. Well, he's glowing because he came in contact with the divine. In the same way, we all are glowing to some degree. And when we are elevated in our spiritual attainment, we're resonating to some degree. And so if anybody in close proximity is getting the benefit and starting to resonate,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Hey, it's 11:11 here. I like that. There's some synchronicity.
Well, I used to see that all the time right before. I don't have to use that phrase because I don't want that date.
Mm-hmm.
In 2001, September 2001, let's just say that. I don't use that because I know that's a term they're looking for.
Yeah.
To hurt your channel, and I don't want to do that.
Thank you.
But I used to see that 11:11 all the time.
Sure.
In fact, I became aware of long time ago that I had some psychic abilities.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the times was I was at TGI Fridays, the Friday before that day, fateful day in September.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, a vision came to me, and I said, "Oh my God, they're going to run into the Twin Towers." And I said it to all my friends around me, as well as the bartender.
Mm-hmm.
Heard it too, and I just had no idea what could I do.
Mm-hmm.
I felt powerless. What could I do? I knew it. Sometimes it's one of those things kind of hard to describe, that you know something's going to happen, you know? But with the head, I was powerless to do anything about it. And of course it did happen.
Mm-hmm.
But the people at least remembered, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that I said that. One other time I was in there at the TGI Fridays, and something strange happened. My vision became red, as if I suddenly put on red colored sunglasses.
Okay.
And all of a sudden I was trying to figure out why my vision's like this, you know. And all of a sudden I focused in on the corner, and there were these two people there. And I knew the bartender. I said, "Could you go over? You know, you're a bartender, so we'll see out of the ordinary. Go ask to see their ID, see who those people are." She says, "Well, why would I want to do that?" It says, "Because I've got this strange sensation that there's great evil in the room, and it's those two that look like brothers over there." And she says, "Well, you know, if they ask for another drink, maybe I can do it, but I'm not just going to go over there and ask to see their ID right now."
Mm-hmm.
And so she wouldn't do it. But later on, I found out who they were.
Yeah? Who were they?
They were the Menendez brothers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I had another experience like that. I had a girlfriend in Milwaukee. It's some time ago that we had actually decided to break up but we had scheduled a trip to San Francisco. He was a psychologist, and some kind of psychological conference or something like that. And so we went out there, and it was 3 days after that last big earthquake that flattened the highway.
Yeah.
So we had to wait a few hours just to get into our hotel room because they had to check. Every building had to be inspected before they let anybody in.
Yeah.
So we go in there, and there's we were still close friends, even though we had decided we're going to break up.
Mm-hmm.
It was fairly uneventful, except there was an aftershock in the first night, and we both woke up screaming.
Wow.
And thinking that we had this really strange thing happen where we both felt like there was a being between us in the middle of the bed trying to keep us apart.
Oh, wow.
Weird experience. Is that related to this electrical phenomenon that goes with the earthquake? I don't know.
Oh, wow.
But
Wow.
it was a strange experience. So it made us rethink whether or not we were doing the right thing.
Wow.
By separating. But
That's wild.
well, then we got back. The first thing we did, we went out to Ghirardelli Chocolate Factory in San Francisco and got a few chocolates and whatever. We both love chocolate, so while we're out there, we got back. This is in Milwaukee, and one of the places we go is the Ghirardelli Chocolate Factory, and we pull up to this place. And before we even get out of the car, I said, "I can't eat anything in there." And she says, "What?" Just are you crazy? He says, "I know you love chocolate. Why aren't you getting anything?" He says, "I can't explain it. I feel this great evil here, and I don't understand it, but I'm not going to get anything."
Wow.
So we go up to this building, the chocolate factory, and there's a couple tables out in front, and they got chocolate samples on there, and she's picking them up and saying, trying to entice me. And I said, "No, it's not going to happen." And there's a big long table behind, and then two arched openings to go to the back of the plant.
Yeah.
And people were coming in there to serve people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, this guy comes in from the left-hand side, and I whispered to this woman, her name was Sarah. I says, "Sarah, it's him." "What do you mean it's him?" It's just, "That's the great evil that I feel. I don't know how I know that, but it's him. Memorize that face,
Mm-hmm.
Well, she did. And 3 years later, we found out who it was. Well, you guess who it was?
Who?
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, my.
3 years prior to his discovery.
Wow.
And after when she saw it in the news, she said, "Oh my God, you were right."
Mm-hmm.
And so I've always had these. I've begun to learn to trust my intuition, and it's really aided me scientifically too, because I'll have an intuition of how I need to move on a particular project.
Mm-hmm.
And more times than not, it'll take me to where I want it to go.
That's nice.
So, and then finally, that there have been times, when you start to have these experiences, you realize you've had them a lot earlier than you thought, right? You just didn't know what words to attach to what you were experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
In high school, there's a friend of ours, John, and he was really good with geology. I mean, he impressed everybody because he had fossilized fish, and he could tell you anything about any rock or anyway, we went out to visit him at his farm. He's a farmer. And this time we went out there. I drove, and my buddy Greg went with me. And we get up there. We can't find John anywhere. We go at the house and knock at the house. No answer. And I said, well, maybe he's gone. And so we go to the barn. Get out there. I say, hey, John, you here? And we're there for about 5-6 minutes. And all of a sudden, John appears. I tell my friend Greg, says, let's go. John's not here. Well, all of a sudden, John enters. He says, and he doesn't look normal. It's like something's going on with him. And he says, you guys need to leave now.
Uh-oh.
And my friend Greg is like, is dragging his feet. He says, no, what's wrong, John? It's like, he says, he keeps saying, you guys need to leave now. And my intuition was going off saying, we got to get out of here. Is there something wrong? And he's trying to tell us to get out of here.
Wow. And
I basically have to threaten my friend Greg if we don't. If I'm going to leave,
mm-hmm.
if you want to ride back, you've got to come with me now,
Mm-hmm.
Well, meanwhile, this young kid comes in to the other side of the barn, and John looks even more nervous. And so John says, you need to go now. You're not welcome here today, okay? So go. He starts to get more belligerent about it. And we've never seen him like this.
Uh-huh.
So I go to get in the car, and my friend finally comes along, gets in the car, and I said, that was really strange, wasn't it? Just, yeah. Well, anyway, we found out later John was arrested for the murder of his wife.
Oh, wow.
But it wasn't him that murdered it. It was that young kid. Young kid murdered his wife and was threatened to kill him and other people if he said anything.
Wow.
And John was a little simplistic, He's a simple farmer, and so he gets one along. Well, John was trying to protect us because the guy was going to try to kill us.
Oh no.
Yeah, so John was going out of his way to protect us. So
wow, that's wild.
So
that is wild.
Yeah. Strange experiences.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
But no,
Hi, Jerry. Jerry's in the house. Sorry about that. Just,
so any subjects that the guests want me to talk about?
Let's see. What are they talking about in the chat? Des Volt said, I always believe that God sees through every eye and hears through every ear.
Yeah, it was definitely part of my awakening, just realizing that there was more to life. There was people had these abilities.
Mm-hmm.
We have more abilities than we realize.
Yeah.
And I've come to believe, whether it's true or not, it's a different matter. I've come to believe that when you're doing the right thing, when you have certain knowledge, knowledge is possessing the information, right? To do something, but it takes wisdom to know how to apply that knowledge. Okay, and I've always felt that when you're doing the right thing, you're guided both to the knowledge and then the wisdom on how to use that knowledge. And I've seen it come to pass all the time with the research. I'll put out an intention that I don't know how, but I'm going to find an answer to this problem, right? Mm-hmm. And at the time, I'm just being honest with myself. This is what I want to do, but I have no idea how to get from point A to point B. And put out your attention, and you say in a prayer, he helps guide me down the right path to get there. And then and then it's the strength of knowing that it will come to pass. Just relax. Go about your daily routine, and all of a sudden, things will just fall in place. Things will just start happening, and when you suddenly realize it's starting to happen, you're like, whoa. You know, did that just happen? Am I imagining it? Did that just happen? You even ask your friends, you know, this is, you know, just something seems to happen extraordinary when they can't put a finger on it, right? Well, that's what I might say will happen with the free will love laser if you use it. And I'm hoping people will try to use it, because that's the key to you awakening to the power that it represents.
Okay, so remind us again how to use the free will love laser again.
Well, just like any laser or any other device you're going to use, right? In our reality, you got to find a place to plug it in, right? You got to find a power source. So in this case, I acknowledge the source of all things by praising God. Okay.
Praise God.
And then the second is you're going to plug it in and essentially connect it to the power, right? And love is the connection. Love is the flowing energy of creation that comes from the source. So by saying love, I say three things usually. I say love, infinite love, euphoria of love. Now, the reason I say euphoria of love is the more you can remember that feeling of love, the greater, it seems to me, the greater impact it has on your intention immediately affecting reality. So, like I said, if you see something on TV that brought tears of joy to your eye, remember that feeling. You know, that's the euphoria of love. That's literally the power of God flowing through you. That's what you're feeling. Remember that. So I say love. So the first thing was acknowledge the source by praising God and love. And you don't have to say any of these things out loud. You can do it quietly if you wish. And then finally, you do something with the laser, right? You give it an intention, right? In a real life, you might point the laser at some device you're trying to melt or whatever, you know? In this case, you're setting an intention for the laser, but you're quantumly connected with all of the multiverse. When I set up the consciousness tool, was with that intention. I set up the intention of how it's activated, and you, once activated, once somebody joins in with it, they're connected until they decide they don't want to be, right? It's not a control structure. I'm not asking anything of anybody, you know? They're not giving up any of their free will, but the intention is that already been put into it when I created it, that it's connected to all patriots everywhere. So you put out an intention, because I'm already connected to it, I'm automatically, you've got the power of my soul contributing, and the souls of everyone else in the multiverse. Okay, so the whole idea is that we all are contributing, and then that's actually happening already. It's just a way of focusing our intentions. This is already how we change reality. This is already how we change timelines. You know, we change it with our intentions, and the people around us have similar intentions, and we resonate. And we're actually doing that. This is just putting it in an organized fashion that maybe some people can relate to and understand better.
Well, strangely, I have a visual that might help people visualize this sort of. It's interesting because when you were talking, I have these characters I call love bugs, and I have them on the screen right now. And they're just little characters I created. I'm working on some animation for them right now, and some different things. But I want to share another picture that I will talk about here that has something to do with that. It's very similar, actually. It's very strange. But it shows two love bugs. Now, the love bugs, so you know, Max, they have heart antennas, okay?
Okay.
So when the two love bugs, when their two antennas kind of like merge together,
Right.
they get special powers. And it says hearts, they say, hearts are one, our minds are clear, together we have nothing to fear. So it gives them strength, you know, kind of like the buddy system. So
Right.
they're putting their hearts, they're putting their hearts together, and they're have nothing to fear. Yeah, so that's what that is. So there you go, folks. Love bugs, helping you understand love laser.
Love bugs mean a different thing to me when I was growing up. I meant a Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah.
Love bug.
Yeah, Herbie the love bug. Remember that? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. This is spelled L-U-V, so it's a little bit different.
Oh, L-U-V. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
These are little bugs with.
Well, you know, all these messages are similar, right? You know, where we go one, we go all, right? And all.
Yeah.
It's telling us that where we had essentially united intent. You know.
Yeah, it is amazing how united all the people in the movement feel. They're so united. It's a wonderful feeling, and there's no angst or animosity. It's just kind of a fellowship, brotherhood, and doesn't matter what color your skin is. Doesn't matter what if you're a man or a woman. Everyone.
See, we're starting to resonate. This is this whole idea of being at a higher frequency, right? We're all starting to resonate, and we feel that energy. Or that's the energy of love flowing through us. You know, that's the essence of what it is, anyway. And we're all feeling it. If we're, you know, I like it in a model I call it like we're all one cell in the mind of God, and you know, there's different versions of the Bible have different say this different ways, but the one I remember is where one or more are gathered in my name, there I am also.
Yeah.
I think that's, to me, that strikes me as the model for consciousness. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
When an individual brain cell can't do that much, right?
Right.
But when it joins up with other brain cells, it suddenly can do things, and then it can glimpse maybe part of the bigger whole, right? Bigger brain.
Mm-hmm.
And what comes with that is abilities that the bigger brain has, right? We suddenly have access to things beyond our comprehension.
Mm-hmm.
Now think of a cell that chooses to not be connected to the brain any longer, right? It kind of withers and dies. It can't really do anything. It's very limited in its ability.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be amazing if it continues to survive. You know?
Yeah.
So that's a model for evil. Evil being disconnected from the source. So darkness. You can use these things. You know, darkness or evil or whatever. Just like I say, light and God's will and love are all synonymous.
Mm-hmm.
And then as us as individual patriots, it's, you know, free will and light and love, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought about having a T-shirt, you know, where it says, you know, from, and then below that it says darkness, and then an arrow to light, and then from fear, and then the arrow points to freedom,
Mm-hmm.
and then hate, the arrow points to love, and then I was going to put at the bottom e pluribus, and then an arrow unum, you know,
Mm-hmm.
from many one, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So all these messages are, you know, even in our currency that we know has been corrupted with symbolism, there are things in there that still have meaning, you know.
Mm-hmm.
E pluribus unum is one of them, for example, you know.
Yeah, what does that exactly mean?
Huh?
What does that mean? E pluribus unum.
I think it's from the many one, from the many become one, you know, basically.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So
it's not
like,
some
it's kind of the idea of where we go one, we go all, you know.
kind of, yeah. You know, it's
You know,
such an
that's
all-encompassing. It's such an all-encompassing movement. It's amazing that anyone could not like it. Of course, it's been vilified, but
Right. That's the whole point, is that they have to try to divide us.
yeah.
And they know their goose is cooked. It's, you know, the reason we all heard, you know, the good always wins. Well, in the end, is because it's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because we're in a training matrix. Evil is only here to help in our training. Of course, it's going to, as soon as we wake up to it, we put an end to it, and this level of the simulation ends.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as we all wake up with one intent and say, we're putting an end to this now,
Mm-hmm.
guess what? It'll come to an end.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one value of the free will love laser, to try to get the focus on. So I guess one intention I put out there, I'll activate it now, is praise God, love, infinite love, euphoria of love. And then I say, it's my intention that the patriots across the multiverse will join forces and with a union of intent
Mm-hmm.
to dispel darkness, to dispel fear, to dispel evil, and right now,
Mm-hmm.
and know that that's being acted on by all those that of like intent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so, putting those things out there and adding to that in any words that are appropriate. Remember, understand that there's only a few things that you can do wrong in this, and I try to illustrate at least one of them. Don't focus your intention on any changing one particular individual or group, because there are powers that they can send back at you.
Mm-hmm.
So instead, look at the bigger picture, say for all, and know that that includes them. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they can't pick you out if you're including all. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like people to think about also as the bigger you think, the more ultimate impact we're having. We're not just impacting our reality, but we're impacting the reality of the entire multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
We're making it easier for patriots everywhere. We're helping them too. You know, in their awakening process.
You know what the opposite?
In a subtle way, we're changing the balance of power in the multiverse.
Mm-hmm. What's the opposite of a patriot?
The opposite of a patriot is
I got the answer.
darkness,
No.
Evil.
Yeah. A hatred. A hatred.
A hatred.
Yeah. I'd rather be a patriot than a hatred.
Hate represents a direct disconnection from the source.
There's only one thing I hate, and that's hate.
Right. Well, don't say that, because supposedly if you add an object to hate, you're connecting yourself with that.
Oh.
That object.
Okay.
You don't want to connect yourself with that, so you say,
okay.
Hate's not in my vocabulary. You know.
Hate's too late.
Hate should have no object. You know.
Hate's too late for me. There you go.
Don't attach it to anything. It doesn't deserve that. It's like attaching yourself to darkness. Well, as soon as light comes along, it's gone. So, you know.
Dark Brain said traitor. Yeah, that's a good opposite. Traitor.
What is it? Traitor? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're traitor to all things that make them. All say they're traitor to consciousness.
And traitor rhymes with hater, because they are hating. They hate. I mean, these people that are supposed to be so, accepting, they hate certain people.
But you notice that the thing I want to impress upon people, one of the reasons why I think the QAnon movement exists is to keep I shouldn't have said that whole word. Probably.
No, you shouldn't have. Oops.
It is one of the reasons that I think exists is to keep the patriots calm, because it's time of ascension. We can't be using violence to, I'll repeat, we cannot be using such things to solve our problems.
Never.
Nor do we need to.
No.
Nor do we need to. That's the key, is understanding we don't need to. Love is more powerful than it.
Yeah.
All that, right?
Yeah. Mud Rabbit asks a very interesting question. Can I still hate liver? I think you can still hate liver. You might be calling it to yourself. You might be calling it to yourself more.
Yeah.
Oh boy. You know what? I have a oh boy. Anyway, never mind. Yeah, I have something happening outside. I have to go take care of the dogs. So I'm gonna have to say goodnight to you all. It's been a pleasure being here with you. Thank you so much for liking and sharing the show. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your evening and tomorrow. And we'll be back on Friday for another big show. So around the same time period. So hope to see you all there. Thank you again for all showing up. We love you all. And to all of you, a very, very good night and peace in.
Good night. Hello.